If you're familiar with the story of David, you probably know him as a king or remember the well-known story of how he fought the giant Goliath. He stood up for God and for Israel. However, David didn't start out as a powerful king or a brave warrior.
A long time ago, the town of Bethlehem was just a small place south of Jerusalem. Surrounded by hills, it was a common place for sheep to graze. This small town held great significance in the Bible. Jesus would be born here, and years before him, his ancestor David, a man God would anoint to be king over Israel. You wouldn't expect to find a king here, would you? In 1 Samuel 16, we learn that David was the youngest of 8 brothers. God told Samuel to go to the house of Jesse in Bethlehem because he had chosen one of Jesse's sons to be the next king. One by one, David's brothers are brought before Samuel, but God rejected each of them. Samuel paid more attention to what they looked like on the outside, but God looks at the heart, who we are on the inside. Finally, David was brought in from the fields, where he had been protecting the sheep, and Samuel anointed him to be the next king of Israel.
The Bible tells us about David's physical appearance, saying he was ruddy. That's not a word we use a lot today. It means he looked healthy. The Bible also said that he had beautiful eyes and was handsome. But more important than his appearance, we read that David was a man after God's own heart. So what do we learn about the story of David being anointed king?
Being a shepherd wasn't a fancy job. In fact, it was hot and dirty, and the task of feeding, watching, and protecting the sheep was assigned to the youngest son in Jesse's family. However, this young shepherd boy was chosen by God to become the king, the shepherd of God's people.
God doesn't care how old you are, what you look like, or how popular you are in school. God is looking inwardly at your heart. And just like David, God will use those who love and obey Him to accomplish great things.